Hey, welcome back. In this video, we're going to continue with our development of this level. And the next thing we need to do is this second level here with the two staircases. So I'm going to copy this and drag it out over here to our working area. Now we can bring it over to right about here where we can see what it looks like with this lower level. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it to right here. Now we need a couple of pairs of staircases, so I'm going to go over here to our stairs. And it looks like there's this one here that's got some sort of ruins looking broken rocks at the side of it. I kind of like this one, so I'm going to copy this and drag it over. Now it's not quite scaled correctly to what we need, so we're going to need to scale it a bit, but let's just take a look and see what we're working with. So first I'm going to go ahead and rotate this by 90 degrees, and I'm going to bring it over and roughly just kind of put it in place here. So I can go ahead and stick it up to the edge and sort of bring it up and over. And I'm seeing right away that I'm probably going to need to scale this. And this is kind of too high of a step to walk on, so I'm going to actually bring it down to just about where this little lip here is at the ground level. And then I can scale this staircase up. So I'm going to scale it up to about there, and then I think I can simply just scale it out a little bit. And that is probably going to work. Now I think what I can do is with this mesh selected, I can copy one over and then scale this. So I'm going to take the scale here for the, looks like the Y direction, and I'm going to flip it. I'm going to put a negative sign there. And then I can simply move it into place like that. Now it does look like there's not a whole lot of room in between here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and move these each out a little bit. So let's go ahead and move this out a couple of tick marks, and then this one as well. And then I can go ahead and take these ground levels here and I can duplicate them. I'm going to actually copy one of these over and ungroup it so that I can take just two and bring them over and move them in like this and copy them like that. So that's looking pretty good. I know there's a crack here, but we'll work on that. So that takes care of the ground between the stairs. And I'm going to move this piece up just to make sure it looks good. And it does. And then I can copy one of these groups and bring it up and over. Like that. And simply copy it again. And now we have this group here. So I'm going to move the super grid piece down, and I'm going to select this group of objects here. So I need to right click and regroup. And now we have one big group here. So I can take this super grid piece and bring it back up, just so it's right here where we can see it. Now our newly created group, I'm going to copy it and bring it back over to our working area in the level. And I'm simply going to center it and make sure that it's in the right spot. And I can turn off the super grid to see what it looks like and make sure that it's aligned with the rocks. And that's actually looking pretty good. So I'm noticing the staircase itself is a bit too tall, so we're going to need to bring it down and in. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one, turn that grid back on, and come back over to the one we're working on and fix it up a little bit. So let's go ahead and bring the super grid piece down, and we'll go ahead and just fix this staircase a bit. So I'm going to right click, go to groups and ungroup, and take this staircase, bring it down just a bit and bring it in One more tick should do it. Now it's connected. And in fact, I think I'm going to scale it by this direction just a little bit so that it's not so wide. And then I can bring in all these bricks so this is a little closer. Like that. And then I don't need these other two bricks down here. And I'll need to bring it in just a little bit closer, like that. Now I'm going to delete this other staircase, and I'll make a copy of this one yet again, and then I'll flip its Y to be a negative in the scale, and simply bring this in. And try to make this as symmetrical as possible, although it's not going to be easy to make it completely symmetrical. But I can line it up with the bricks as best I can. If I want, I can try to line this one up so I can line it up to this little groove here. So I can try to make it as equidistant as possible. So I think that's roughly good. Now I'm going to select all of these and regroup them. So right-click, group, and now I can copy this over again and see how it works this time. So I'm going to put this crack right here in the middle and bring the whole thing up just a little bit. And now when I turn off the super grid, I can see how it looks. And I think that looks a lot better. Now we do get some light coming through here, so we are going to need to copy a couple of the pieces of the ground. So what I'm going to do is right-click, go to Groups and Ungroup, and simply copy these two bricks and go ahead and bring them out and just cover these spots here. And I'm also going to offset them as well, so the cracks don't line up. Now with those two selected, I'm going to reselect everything here, and then I'm going to go to Group. And now we have a group here, and I'm going to copy this over to the other side. Now I'm going to enable the prototype visibility and copy this over and rotate it by 180 and bring it in. And I can make sure that this crack is aligned, and it looks like it is. So that's going to look pretty decent. Okay, so let's turn off the super grid again and just make sure it looks good. So yeah, so far that looks pretty good. Okay, so that's going to conclude this video. In the next, we're going to continue with this room. We're almost done with this first room. We do need to take care of this ledge here and then some arches. So we're going to continue with that in the next video. I'll see you then.